How do you handle an underperforming team member, an underperforming employee? If in your team you have certain employees who you think are not performing to that level, and that is causing a trouble because that definitely takes up bandwidth. And at the same time, you think you have to break your head and every day follow up, and too much of your energy is spent, and it's quite unproductive. That how do you really handle such an employee? That's what I'm going to be talking in this video. Hi, I'm Aastha Tatia, daughter of two rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA, corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping corporate leaders build deep connections and meaningful relationships in their organizations so that they're able to create a blissful work experience. If you're able to relate with this video, hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already. So, if you have trouble because there are some employees or there is one employee who's not performing to your expectations, then here are four steps that I want to share with you, which in my experience, they've worked. So just see how it applies to your situation. So first, very, very important, it is important, of course, to have a conversation with the employee. And within that conversation, the first step is whether the employee has the clarity about the expectations of the job role, the expectations that you as a manager have from him. Right? So clarity, the first part, very, very important. Does he have the clarity? Because a lot of times there is a gap there. We are so busy discharging our duties, काम करने में लगे हुए होते हैं कि हमने शायद बैठ के वो एक्सपेक्टेशंस सेट ही नहीं की होती है और वहाँ पर गैप होता है. और जब वहाँ पर गैप होता है, then when the clarity is not there, then things obviously will go haywire. So the first question that you must ask is, do you have the clarity around the job role, around what is expected, around what are my expectations? Yeah. Now, once the clarity has been attained, if he has the clarity, great, you can have a discussion around this where you can ask the person, the employee, to share what is his understanding. And then you can tell, okay, this is what actually it is, there is a gap. And then you come on a common ground. Now, the second question is whether you're aligned with this. Okay, now alignment means in terms of creating an alignment. Of course, he's there in that job role, which means he has to work around those expectations, right? But aligned in the sense, is he aligned to this way of working? Does this fit into his scheme of things, fit into his comforts, his way of doing things? Also, it is aligned to his aspirations as an individual, right? So how can you, as a manager, as a boss, as a leader, ensure that your employee, your team member feels empowered, having gotten that clarity, and he feels aligned to what needs to be done and in the way it needs to be done, right? So after this second question, the clarity is there, the alignment is also there, right? So for example, he may feel that no, this mechanism of reporting doesn't work, or this makes me feel too suffocated. Of course, you provide him the space to be able to share that, and he feels, no, I think if you can let me know things a little in advance, or if there are last minute things, can we handle them in so and so way? So there could be things around the process. Then there could be things where he says that I want to take it to the next level. How can I do things which are more growth oriented, where I can bring in my perspective, and I can introduce something, and can we have a discussion around this? Because just execution makes me feel redundant. You don't know what's going on. So their alignment needs to be brought in. After that, when you see that, okay, the clarity has been established, the alignment is there now, then what is missing? So you identify those gaps, right? So what would he need in that moment, and how can you support there, right? So first, what is missing, what is holding him back, right? So that has been identified, and now how can you as a leader support? So how can I support you, or what is it that you would need from my side? Or maybe asking this to yourself also, and of course putting it there, voicing it out right there on the table. Yeah. And then you have a discussion around what can be done. There are certain do's and don'ts that can be agreed upon, certain ways that can be agreed upon, certain basis the gaps that have been identified. And once that is done, then after this three stages, when you get up, right, then you have reached a stage where those the gaps that were existing have been identified. You've gotten a yes, a nod from the person, so he is aligned to the work, he is aligned to what was not working, and how does he want it to work now. How you've given him that free hand, and now that increases the accountability, because it's not a one-sided conversation. It is not an imposition of this is how it's supposed to be done. Rather, it is a dialogue, and he's been an equal party to it. He's agreed to it, right? So after you decide on how can you as a leader support, and this was missing, so this is what can be provided, what is doable, what is not doable, you come to a common ground. And that's where you conclude by saying, okay, is there anything else which stands in the way of you discharging the duties? And I suppose the answer would be no, because that's all been addressed now, at least for now. Going forward, then there may be things, but this is an exercise which should not happen when there is a calamity that strikes, but it should happen on a periodic basis as a preventive measure, I would say, before the employee reaches a stage where he stops performing, and then it's a problem situation. Yeah. So three things: clarity, alignment, and then bridging those gaps. What's missing? What support can you provide as a leader, right? If this made some sense to you, then please hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel, and do share with me in the comments if there's anything else that you've been practicing, or anything else which has worked beautifully for you. That'll be great for everybody. It'll be enriching for everybody. Yes. Great. Have a great day. See you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.